Well, tonight the Blue Jackets are set to play their third preseason game, and all of that in just 2 days. Yesterday they lost twice to the St. Louis Blues. Tonight the Blue Jackets are in Boston to take on the Bruins. I'm Bob McElligott along with Jody Shelley. And Jody, it's another camp day here as well. You've got that game group. They had an extended morning skate. Then you had the other couple of groups were still doing their thing.
Well, yeah, and Torts talked about that last night. This is a process he wants to go through. And, you know, the results yesterday in those 2 preseason games, he doesn't care. He wants to see the guys battle through the 3 days of intensive skating and then get through that game last night, all with the mindset of, hey, when camp is over, we'll be ready for game number 1.
And he also said last night, and he said it again today, these games are very early in the camp. For the type of camp that he is trying to run, not trying, he is running, it's very high intensity. There's a lot of skating, so there are going to be points in a game where things are just going to fall off a little bit.
And I really respect him for what he's doing here. He's not changing his schedule for preseason games. He's sticking with the game plan. He knew at the end of the last year he needed to make changes. He watched the kids, watched the veterans to see what he had there at the time, and he came here with a purpose in camp, and he's sticking with it.
Well, the Blue Jackets are taking a pretty good group to Boston tonight to play against the Bruins, and the blue line has certainly been fortified with the return of Seth Jones. He just played for Team North America in the World Cup of Hockey, and he's a guy that over the summer he signed a big contract, and his job is guaranteed. A lot of guys are fighting for jobs. He is not one of them, but he says he's going to approach it like he is.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. I'm going to go play to the best of my ability. I'm not going to, because I have a 6-year contract, and I'm not going to sit back and just put it on cruise control. I want this team to succeed. I want this team to be better than what we were last year. So, that starts with every individual guy in this room and bringing what they can, bringing their best every day to the rink. So.
Seth, young veteran defenseman in this National Hockey League. He'll be 22 years old in just a couple weeks, and that's amazing, the mindset he has. Must have been excited to sign the long-term deal, but the attitude stays the same. I got to do the work.
Well, the Blue Jackets have another guy playing on defense tonight that's looking to win a job in this camp, and he's a guy that's been around the NHL with a couple different organizations. That's Scott Harrington. The Blue Jackets picked him up in a trade with the Toronto Maple Leafs over the summer in exchange for Kirby Reichel. Now, Harrington started with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was sent to Toronto in the Phil Kessel deal, and here he says he's just looking to impress the coaching staff by playing his game.
I think I'm just coming into camp and trying to play my game and trying to prove to the coaching staff what type of player I am and just really taking it one day at a time. It's been a tough camp, and I think if you get looking too far ahead, it could be trouble for you. So I think for myself, the best thing is to just take it one day at a time and try to leave the best impression that I can.
He's a 23-year-old man. He's played 25 games in the National Hockey League, and I guess during the testing he was phenomenal. He's a very good athlete and an asset for the Blue Jackets in the organization, so he's looking to make an impact here again tonight.
Well, I mentioned Seth Jones is back from Team North America. Another guy that has come back is Brandon Saad. He is going to make his Blue Jackets preseason debut tonight, and he's going to have a good centerman in Sam Gagner, who had 3 points yesterday. And then Daniel Czar, the youngster, gets a chance to play on the other side.
The young Swede, and it's very interesting when a rookie gets to play with 2 established veterans, especially veterans that can play the game with that offensive upside. We talked to Torts about it. He said they like the way Czar skated, and they want to give him that opportunity. So excellent opportunity for him tonight in Boston. Saad's going to be excited to be back, and Gagner really impressed in his first game as a Blue Jacket.
When you go into Boston, preseason, regular season, playoffs, it usually doesn't matter. The game's normally the same, isn't it?
It'll be physical. Juvenko's in the lineup. That's a good sign. He's 6'6" defenseman. He'll take care of some of that physical play. But I think the players know when you go to Boston, you get in the Garden. The fans are the same. The black and gold plays the same, and you got to be ready to take some checks and give some.
All right, that game is at 7 o'clock tonight. I'll be in Boston to bring you the game. You can catch it on 1460 ESPN Radio. You can also find it on the Blue Jackets app. Game 3 of the preseason tonight. The Blue Jackets in Boston to play the Bruins. For Jody Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott on Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health.